For 48 years of my life, I could not read, write, or spell my native language. I managed to graduate from high school, from college, without knowing how to read, write, and spell. This is a short answer to a long answer. How did I do it? I cheated. And that's material for the book. I spell all that out, my crimes, my sins, my trespasses. I taught school for 17 years in public school in Oceanside and Carlsbad. At 48, they asked me, why did you finally decide to go learn to read? I think part of it was Barbara Bush was talking about adult literacy, and I heard some two sisters talking in the grocery store. We were across the street from the library in Carlsbad, and I heard them talking about their brother learning to read. And one Friday afternoon, I just went over there to that storefront store, and I met with the director. She interviewed me. There were a few tears, but I was assigned a tutor, a 48 years old, and my tutor was a 65-year-old volunteer. And she was the second grade teacher that I never had, got me to about the 6th grade level. I thought I died and went to heaven. I wanted more, and that's the way learning is. You want more. And I went from the 2nd grade word attack skills to the 12th grade level in about 100 hours. And I was on my way. Okay, my appetite, now I want to write. I want to write, and I'm invited to tell the story. And so I got to tell this story, and I feel like it is a catharsis because I feel like illiteracy in America, not knowing how to read, I think it's a form of child neglect and child abuse, and there's a lot of trauma there, and adults that can't read are suspended in childhood emotionally, psychologically, intellectually, academically, spiritually. And so that's all of that had to come out of there after learning to read and overcoming something that I believed was not for me. I bought into a big lie when I was a child that something was wrong with my brain and I couldn't get it. And I was passed through the system, and I got it when I was 48, and it was a volunteer tutor at the Carlsbad Library that helped me. She didn't change the world, but she changed my world forever. And that has inspired me to, for the last 30 years, beating the drum, let's teach the world to read. I like to read about how people learn to read, and that was for information. And I guess I'd say this book, The Reading Gap, Journey to Answers, I think it's probably more about that unfinished business, this good confession. I always felt like I was trespassing. I trespassed on the college campus. I trespassed in the classroom as a teacher. And there was a horrendous moral dilemma that I had to deal with, and I sorted some of that out in this book. But this is my favorite book. This is the one that... and it's a call for action here. Like today's speaker, mine is a different voice, but it's like we have to do this. We need to do this. This is critical. And you know, lots of people talk about fixing the education system. We will not fix the education. We will not have quality education until we have a laser-like focus on the problem, and that you've got to know how to read. We go to school for the first 3 years of our life to learn to read, and then the rest of our school career, our academic career, and our learning is we read to learn. And without that tool, and no matter how smart and clever John Corcoran was, there is no way I could maximize my fullest potential without the gift of reading.